Hey, how you doing? I am Gio. Welcome to the channel. If it's your first time, hopefully welcome back, because we are on episode 11. Unofficially, episode 11 of Band of Brothers. We are ending, for the most part, our Band of Brothers journey with the documentary And We Stand Alone Together. Right, so Band of Brothers was beautifully done. It was amazing to watch, but it was also hard to watch, right? It was hard to watch. Like, you could get yourself lost in it, you know, watching it as a action series, and then just every now and again it would come back to you. These were real people. That's really happened. In some parts it was played down, right? These men lost their lives. These men were changed forever, you know. Because I guess, you know, I think I can't remember who said it. Oh, I think Shifty was talking about it, like, what do I say back home? And it's like, man, tell them you're a fucking hero, you know? And I think it was Webster who says, I wonder if the public know what it cost to the soldiers. Of course, people back home lost as well, right? Wives lost their husbands, like children lost their fathers. You know, the world changed for the most part, right? For a while. But the soldiers who went to World War II, even the ones who made it, right? Even the guys who made it, I mean, you've got to be damaged by that experience, right? You talk about like shell shock and PTSD and trauma, mate. I feel traumatized sometimes watching it. See the Boston one and so see it live through that terror, absolute terror. So when they say, like, I wonder if people know what it cost the soldiers, no, they probably just saw the soldiers coming home as like conquering heroes. Yay, have a parade, heroes, right? And these were fucking badly damaged men, damaged in service to their country, to civilization, and to the world. Right, so what did the soldiers sacrifice? Everything, absolutely everything. So I believe this is got to be sort of a talking heads, more in depth. I think. See the guys, talking heads, the old soldiers from the start of the episodes. It looks like this has got to be more of that. So, I mean, what more? See the thing, I'm talking because I don't really want to start it. I don't want to start it because I don't really want it to be finished. You understand? Like, I'm delaying it because I don't want it to be like, once this is done, that's kind of Band of Brothers, the experience first time done. But we'll move on, right? We'll move on. So guys, thank you everyone who's watched this with me. It's been thrilling. It's been a pleasure. If you like this video, like a video. If you're not subscribed, push subscribe. You may think you're subscribed, but you may not be subscribed. If you like early access to this, things like this, support the channel, you can join a Patreon. Link is down below. It's very cheap. It's very affordable. It's like £1, €1 per month. You get early access and you get extras, exclusives, things like that. If that's something you're interested in, everything's down below. If not, this is Band of Brothers. We stand alone together.
Thanks.
Okay.
Welcome.
Hi.
Thanks for sitting down with us again. We appreciate it. Could you recount again for me the incident in which you were wounded?
I was standing on the top of this hill at the aid station, and a random shell came in. It couldn't have gone off more than 5 or 10 feet away from me, because all I remember is a tremendous blast. And the next thing I knew, I was laying on the ground in the snow, and I tried to get up. And when I tried to get up, only thing I could see were the broken ends of my legs. And I thought my legs were gone. Because that's all, the broken part, both femurs were shattered. And they were laying down here as I was in my back trying to raise my legs up. I'm dead. You know, I'm about to die.
Wow.
And I said my act of contrition, because I'm a Catholic. And then the next thing I thought of was my mother.
Because he'd be young at the time, right? He'd have been young at the time as well. See, seeing it like art, written out like art, it's almost unbelievable, right? It's almost unbelievable that that was real, all happened. The Manor Music Company.
My name is C. Carwood Lipton. I was born in Huntington, West Virginia, grew up in Huntington.
Frederick T. Heiliger, Concord, Massachusetts was my hometown.
Heiliger.
I was born in a town named Inchellim, Washington.
My name's J.B. Stokes. I was born close to Bonham, Texas, in a rural area called Leonard.
Born and raised in Columbus, Ohio. My father worked for this railroad. My mother was a housewife.
My nickname was Babe.
Babe.
And my mother, she was a little Irish broad, red hair, fiery, great woman.
Born and raised in South Philadelphia, where the times were tough. Mom had 10 children, so you had to work to survive. That's what it was. It's just survival.
Yeah.
I saw people that really were hungry and had hard times. My father was able to find some kind of employment. We never went hungry.
We lived on a farm at the time. It was poor. Everybody was poor. That was a depression.
Yeah.
10, I got a paper route. You know, that $5 a month I made, something like that, you know. But it was at least something.
There's a work ethic that the Pennsylvania Dutch in this particular area are very proud of.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, they came from hardship. They came from hard lives. And hard lives make hard men anyway.
What's wrong with you if you weren't in the service in those days? It was just what you had to do.
Yeah. I wasn't going to be in the infantry, I knew that. I was going to be in some top kind of a unit, or I wasn't going to be in the Army.
Life magazine had run an article on paratroopers sometime in early 1942, and it told about the training that they got and the difficult physical requirements. And I just got interested in seeing if I couldn't become a paratrooper.
Yeah.
Nobody forced you to do this. You volunteered.
Yeah.
And it was the notion that you wanted to do something
special.
You wanted to be with the best.
But once you got in there, you was proud to be. We was proud of our boots. We was proud of our shoulder patch. And we was proud to be paratroopers. And we was proud to be working with the guys we were working with.
Yeah.
You know these people that you're in service with. You know those people better than you will ever know anybody in your life. I mean, you know them right down to the final thing, you know. And that comes when you start your training, while that progresses.
Yeah. In hardship, you know people.
Each man was like a heavyweight champion of the world boxer.
Out of 100%, only 10% made it.
I thought I was going to die.
There wasn't no holding back.
You had to hang in there. You had to be tough. We marched 118 miles in 3 days.
The training.
118 miles in 3 days in boots.
We were just a bunch of
ordinary kids when we went in, most of us. And a lot of the training was to build you up physically and mentally.
Some of them lost as much as 40 pounds, but I didn't have nothing to lose. I weighed about 130. If I'd have lost 40 pounds, I wouldn't have been big enough to stay.
You know, they weeded out so many.
Buck Rogers.
Be there one day and they'd be gone the next.
They couldn't keep up with them. You understand? They were good men, but they couldn't take that hard training. Well, he had the cream of the cream.
Yeah.
Had to climb this mountain called Currahee every morning, run it up and back. If you couldn't do it, well, you'd end up in another unit.
3 miles up, 3 miles back.
As I understand it, means we stand alone together. That's an Indian name. It became a symbol of the camp because it was really rough and tough going up and down.
A lot of times, especially on a Monday, when some of the guys would get out somewhere and get them a little drink or so, you'd see them laying beside the road, you know, going up and coming back, you know, where they're sick.
And it didn't matter how hard they trained you and how tired you got, you would still go out on your own and run the mountain at night, which was ridiculous because when you had to run it during the day, all you did was bitch and moan.
And
at night, you'd get a couple of guys and go up and do it on your own.
Yeah, nobody told
We
me.
learned how to be soldiers at Toccoa as a group, all of us coming in from no experience in the Army at all, coming in directly from civilian life.
I'm going to say this. I believe that the paratroopers of the 101st Airborne Division was as well trained as you could get a soldier to be.
So tell me something.
At that time.
Did the replacements get trained at Toccoa as well before they went? Did the replacements get the same training as the originals? I wonder.
When it came time to stand up and hook up, we did.
Coming down is great.
It affects everybody different.
Felt like a bird flying in the air.
Broke my foot on the first one.
They're dropping 16 feet a second.
I can remember just like it was yesterday. That morning after breakfast, they marched us all out there to the airfield. There was a bunch of guys out there that already made their jump, and they was all hollering, "You're gonna be sorry," you know.
You didn't want to be afraid, you know, because all these other guys are right there with you, and some, you know, your bravado and all that. But you didn't want to be afraid, so you kept that out of your mind.
You know, in those days, jumping out of an airplane is not like today. My first flight up, I jumped. I was years before I ever landed in an aircraft. And most of the fellow troopers was the same story.
Never landed in an aircraft, always jumped. That's funny.
It's not all that bad. You don't know what you're doing. It just seems like when you step out the door, well, the chute just opened right then.
As I went out the door, I was blank. I cannot remember leaving the plane until after the chute opened up. My God. But after that, it wasn't as bad.
But it was quite a thrill. It was just like going on a roller coaster. You get off and you want to go right back on again. Yeah.
It was a thrill.
Yeah.
It was a high, as they say.
I'll bet.
Everybody just seemed to enjoy themselves.
Without people shooting
landing
you, though.
was the hardest part.
Without
Once I got out,
munitions,
I was happy
without
as a lark.
explosions.
You know, coming down is great. I was small too, and I didn't hurt myself when I hit the ground. Some of the big ones hit the ground like a ton of, what's the name?
The thing you worried about most was your chute. Did you pack it right? And you'd go through that, you'd pack it one day and jump the next day. You had all night to think about it.
No, fucking hell.
You had all kinds of ideas of what you might have done wrong, but it worked out fine.
We made 5 jumps in the 3rd week there, and then you were a qualified paratrooper.
Wow.
We were thoroughly prepared. The men were trained, hardened, physically and mentally.
Thanks to Sobel.
And they were ready
by the way,
to jump.
Thanks to Sobel. Like, give the guy credit. He was good at that part of it.
You know you're in the parachute troops. You're going to be jumping behind the enemy lines. What do you expect? You have no idea. That'll make anybody stand and search his soul for a few minutes.
Yeah, I mean, they can train you how to jump, right? They can train you how to physically jump from the plane and hit the ground.
We were ready.
It's when you hit the ground, right?
We were stationed in England for about a year
Where's Hilly
before
go?
D-Day. We had a lot of maneuvers and parachute jumping.
They put us in a camp preparing us for D-Day. In other words, just about a week before D-Day, they put us in no liberties, no nothing. You couldn't get out of the camp.
They had guards around the marshalling area.
Fucking
so
hell.
Nobody could leave.
Why?
That's when you felt that this is it. We did not know which day. We did not know where we were going to jump until we were locked in. And then they had debriefing to tell you exactly what your mission was.
Yeah.
We got the orders to get on the planes. This is it.
Brave men, brave men.
Confidence in our leaders and all the plans and preparations that had taken place before the invasion. So we were confident and calm.
Okay.
We carried everything that we thought we could carry.
I mean, look at
in the line of personal items, plus the necessary things we were assigned to carry, and we were loaded.
Look at them.
Everybody got in there, and a lot of them were very scared. I was scared too, but probably in a different way that other people were.
He sounds French.
As long as I was in that plane and they were going to get me there safely out of that plane, that's all that I worried
He's
about.
got a bit of French Canadian about him, right?
At the time, I had no feeling whatsoever. Like I said, my feelings was for my brother who was killed.
Yeah.
At that time. That infuriated me to no end. And that's when I jumped on D-Day, I swore I was going to kill every damn German I came across. And that's why I think they nicknamed me Wild Bill, because I did a lot of killing D-Day.
I did a lot of killing D-Day.
So since I was jump master, I could lie in the door, at the door of the plane with my head out in the slipstream looking down. And I saw the thousands of craft, ships, everything from LCIs to battleships.
Wow. Down
there in the channel. And I think that's when I first realized how large the invasion was.
Yeah.
Tremendously large.
Because you just know about your section, right? Your bubble.
They went down off the south end of England and then across the Jersey Islands and then across the Cherbourg Peninsula. And that's when the fireworks started.
Yeah, the fireworks. Fuck.
That was terrible. Any aircraft was absolutely horrendous. It was like a July the 4th celebration 10 times over.
Yeah, I would hate that. I would hate it. The feeling of helplessness, right? Like, I'd rather die with a gun in my hand than sit in a buckle plane. Like, I'd hate that.
No matter where we were at, out. They wanted out of the plane. They were getting shot up.
Yeah.
But finally, the pilots, I'm just happened to read their mind is, okay, we got so much gas, and we're going to have to get back to England, give them the green light sometime, get out. We're standing there ready to jump.
There was a certain relief, I think, when the green light came on and everybody said, let's go.
Man, I jumped up on a run and hit the static
Buck
line with
Compton.
the hook and out the door, you know, and got such an opening blast from the opening shock from the prop blast that it broke this chin strap that we had on this helmet liner, and that's when I lost this famous leg bag that everybody talks about just from the shock of the opening.
The British come up with this. They call them leg bags. They got to be this big, and you keep stuffing everything you can get your hands on in them. It's supposed to weigh 10, 15 pounds. By the time you get done, it's 40 or 50 or 60 pounds.
Fucking hell.
Everyone that jumped with a leg bag or supplies, they lost it. Most of the paratroopers that landed didn't have nothing.
It tore right off because we jumped at speeds of 150 miles an hour, maybe even higher, I don't know.
And lower than we should have been. But that wasn't bad either because you got to the ground quicker. When we went out the door, opened I looked to see if my parachute was open, and you could see tracer bullets burning holes through the parachute.
And they told us that all you'll have to do is shuffle up to the door, throw that leg out, prop blast will hit it, and you're gone. Well, they were right. Only I was gone out and my leg was in. And I was hanging upside down, looking at everything down with my leg in the plane and everything. And all this happened in just a split second. And Paul rolled me out, Paul Rogers rolled me out.
I just helped him out. I just picked him up and threw him out, I guess.
Get out!
I had to get out. We just wanted to get out so bad.
And I come down right behind City Hall, watched them shoot at me all the way, which wasn't very long.
And I could see the tracers, and they were kind of spraying around in the air. Whoever the machine gunner was down there that was concentrating on me apparently was not a very good shot.
Look at
But
you.
they were firing in every direction. Even in front of you, back of you, you don't know which way to go.
That you are getting close to landing and you're saying, there's some trees, there's a road, try and slip to avoid the trees, try and slip to avoid landing on the road.
Yeah, try hit cross.
I hit the ground in a kind of a field, and we were way, got looking at my map, and we wasn't anywhere close to where we were supposed to be. We didn't know where we were. We was plumb off our maps that they'd give us. We had to make our way back. We knew that the beach was to the east of where we were.
And then there I was with a trench knife and a canteen and about 6 candy bars in my pocket, ready to fight the German army, you know.
So there's 4 guys that were with me on D-Day who did have nothing but a jump knife when they landed.
Yeah.
So we had a hope scrounge. As it worked out for all of us, later on we run across somebody who had been killed.
Yeah,
and you take his weapon.
Of course.
And that's how you get a weapon for D-Day.
We were scattered all over the peninsula practically. So it was quite a confused situation, but we were better prepared for it than the Germans were. The Germans didn't know where we were.
Whereas on the beach, those people coming in on those boats, those Germans had those big guns aimed right at them, you know, and just waiting on them. Oh, they had it tough. They had it tough.
These guns were pointed and firing right down on the beach. And the people out of the landing craft were trying to come onto the beach and they were firing right down on them.
This battery of 105s was placed precisely where it should be to protect that causeway, any troops coming up the causeway. As you sit back years later on and look at it, you think, oh, this was laid out exactly right, tactically.
So at guns, you were just sitting hitting the beach.
We thought we knew where every foxhole was in Normandy.
Brecourt Manor.
We knew where everything was. We knew it cold. But on this one, the Germans had moved in there and camouflaged us so well, we didn't know it was there.
E Company was the assault company of the battalion. And we were been trained from special assaults and whatnot, special assignments. But they weren't aware of what we had. They didn't realize we only had 12 people. So we worked our way down through the farm area to a hedgerow, and Lieutenant Winters had us set up a firing position.
Went up to scout it for myself, crawled out along this hedgerow to get a little closer to look it over, and I felt I could see a trench, and I thought I knew where our machine gun was.
Winters was an exceptional leader.
Yeah.
And he was able to size up all through the war. Size up combat situations and decide quickly and correctly the best way to take care of whatever the problem was.
Kept a lot of men alive.
I divided the group into two.
Kept a lot of men alive.
Lieutenant Compton was with me. I gave him half the men, and I took half the men. Gave instructions. I went Compton, Malarkey, and Winda crawl up there and hand grenade that machine gun. Crawl through the grass. And as you throw your grenades, I'll charge up with the rest of the guys. So I had the two machine guns set up to give him covering fire while he crawled up there.
I get out to this hedgerow, and I look up and I peek through the bushes, and I see a couple of Germans over here about 30, 50 yards away, stoking this gun and firing it. And so I pull out a hand grenade and I pull the pin on it and I threw it as high and as far as I could throw it in their general direction. The damn thing had enough hang time on it that about the time it got to them, it went off in the air, and I got one of them.
3 Germans broke off from this position to run across the field, which was the wrong thing to do from their viewpoint.
Yeah, of course, but it's natural, isn't it?
We cut them down.
Natural.
I was in the trench, and I looked and I saw an arm. I didn't even see it. The man was in a camouflage tent, and I didn't even see him. And then I saw an arm stuck over that tent, and one of those potato masher grenades, with a stick, come over there, and I said, well, he's gonna miss me. And that thing fell right down in that trench. And I was trying to scuttle my way out of the way of it, and it went off. And I felt like it blowed my butt over my head. And pretty near did.
He's behind the enemy lines on D-Day. Does he holler help? He hollers, "I'm sorry, Lieutenant. I'm sorry. I goofed."
I felt like I kind of let him down, but, that's neither here nor there.
God. It's beautiful when you think of a guy who is that dedicated to his company, to his buddies.
He made a mistake.
And he apologizes for getting hit. But that's the kind of guy he was. And that's the kind each one of them was. They were all the same.
Yeah.
I look upon them, each man with great respect. Respect I can't describe. Each one of them proved himself that he
belonged. Yeah.
Could do the job.
Yeah.
We've been through Normandy. We've been through battle. And maybe if I had been harder, if I had done a little bit better job, there would have been a couple more men going home.
Nah, come on, mate. Wow. Almost half. Almost half gone.
I never thought I'd get through D-Day, let alone the next phase or the next phase. I thought I was going to get killed instantly. The chances of survival is very, very slim.
Yeah.
Extremely slim.
3 months to recover, though.
It's a parachute. We got that done in Edinburgh, Scotland, 1944. Me and Johnny Martin. Drunk as a skunk.
Well, Garnier and I decided we'd go to Scotland and get a tattoo. We didn't figure we had a chance to come home.
Well done, boys.
Yeah, but we thought, well, hell, the war's just starting, and Christ, we're 50% gone now.
I mean,
so it's a long haul.
Yeah. What a feeling, right? Like,
the 101st came back from Normandy after about 33 days, and we were the replacements for the people who were killed in action or wounded in the Normandy mission.
There were young kids that came in, and for some reason, I don't know why, they were the first ones killed. And I think maybe they were trying to impress the older guys, maybe people like me or Shifty.
We were in awe of them. They were wearing infantry badges, you know, their uniform. They had a star on their jump wings. They were like heroes to us.
Heroes of Brecourt Manor. Yeah.
I got right there to where I didn't want to be friendly with replacements coming in because, God, I didn't like to see them get killed. It just tore me up.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but they were the first ones killed.
Yeah. Maybe they didn't get some training.
And then the training got really tough between there and the Holland jump. It was training. We had a couple of missions scratched. We were supposed to jump on a French city of Tournai. And we got to the sand table part where we all gathered around to see which bridges we were going to do, who was going to do what, and General Patton's troops overran the drop zone. So that one was called off. And we were wondering if we were ever going to get to go. And then, of course, it got to be September.
The drop was perfect. It was a mass drop. Everybody was dropping on the same field.
Daytime drop's a lot easier.
No fire.
See where you're going. You can sort of prepare for the landing.
I saw a plowed field, and I slipped right over it, and I believe I almost landed standing up, you know, soft. A great jump.
The most dangerous part about it was the fact that people are continually losing helmets and equipment, and all this equipment's raining down. And if you get hit with this, you're going to be killed or wounded before you get off the drop zone.
We moved out towards the Wilhelmina Canal. Our mission was first to take a bridge over the Wilhelmina Canal.
It took us hours to get there. And taking hours to get there, the few German troops that were to secure this bridge had plenty of time to set their charges to blow the thing up.
As we got to it, I was maybe 150 yards away. It blew up in our faces.
These rocks and timbers were flying, and they're falling all around you, and you can't help but think to yourself, my God, what a way to die in combat, to be killed with a flying timber.
It delayed us until the next morning. We wanted to get across that night, but it took us till the next morning to get across. But once we got in, the Dutch, it was just marvelous.
Yeah.
Their reaction. They loved Americans and still do. Coming in there and pushing the Germans out.
4 years of German occupation.
They call us angels from the sky, which we were.
Oh.
I mean, you were under German occupation for 4 years.
Yeah.
It's horrible. And you see paratroopers come out of the sky on Sunday morning. Who are they? They were angels.
Yeah.
They love you.
Yeah.
Their welcome was unbelievable. They couldn't restrain how happy they were
like I said
to see
before,
you.
I wonder how many people, I wonder how many Americans thought, I'm staying, I'm going to Holland. I'm going to go to Holland and live there because, you know.
Didn't mind. You know, naturally, we was young. We didn't mind at all.
And they were really proud to see us. And to point where it was dangerous for us trying to clean out the town because snipers did some damage in that situation.
We had a lot of fighting in that area because
Hell's Highway
on the Rhine River, and Germany's right across the river. You know, they're fighting like heck to keep us out of Germany.
It's called the island. We call it the island, and we set up positions there. Had some substantial battles there.
I heard something coming down. I knew what it was. A mortar shell, and I threw my arm up like that and went down. It lit within 3 feet of me or 4.
Jesus.
But it lets, when it blows, it goes up like that. And it went through my arm and hit me in the head, and I was bleeding pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I was picked to go up on a dike. Of course, when you get to the top, you don't expose yourself. I took my rifle and put my helmet on it and put it over, even with the road on a dike.
Somebody shot it.
And no action, so I brought it back down, put the helmet on, and I sort of peeked over. When I peeked over, I see a hand there with a potato masher. Threw it at me. I ducked down, it hit my helmet and bounced off. So when that thing bounced off my helmet, I hollered out to the guys below, "Live grenade."
If Lesneski hadn't hollered live grenade, and I had enough sense to know that that's that grenade that hit my rifle and is laying right in front of me, in my face practically, I know I'd have either had my head blown off or I would have definitely been blind. There's no question about that, not any question, because I just got turned just part way and it exploded, and then it caught me in the face, neck.
Jesus.
I hollered for them to, take off. I said, "Get the hell going back." And I had 8 grenades, so I started taking them off, pulling the pins and throwing them over. And while the grenades are rolling down or landing wherever they were hitting some of the crowds, because I could hear screaming, hollering, crying, and I think I threw the 8 grenades in about 4 seconds.
And the 88 was the fiercest cannon or gun that the Germans had. And it was the way they used it. It was an all-purpose gun. It could shoot anti-aircraft, tanks, anti-personnel,
Jesus.
airburst, and that was the bad ones when
Looks
the shell
horrendous,
went
didn't
up
it?
over your head.
I saw a huge mushroom cloud from the shell, and Joe Toy stepped out of it. And I run up. I remember that like it was just. I run up and I grabbed him, and he said, "Oh, don't touch me." I said, "Joe, what's my?" He said, "I'm hit all over." He said, "I'm bad." I said, "Okay." I said, "I'm going to go see Jim." He said, as bad as he was hurt, Joe Toy, he said, "Efren, I already checked him. He's gone."
You already checked him.
Jim Campbell might be alive today. If he hadn't have said to me, "Efren, you stay here with your gun. I'm going up." And I never, I sleep on it, I eat on it, I never forgot that. And anybody that went through it is going to tell you the same thing. They can't die. It's just so bad for your life. You got to remember what one guy did because he thought it was his job to do, and he took a shot for you.
Yeah, he died and you lived. Fucking hell.
This is Bulge Woods, right?
It is the woods. Sure looks different now. There ain't no snow.
Well, is that Gandhi and Babe?
I think if the trees look like they did in 44
Yeah.
or
They've took him at Boston.
45, we could get a better idea. That's it. Yeah. Well, there's the town of Foy, right over there. After the empty field where those cattle are grazing.
About a half a mile away to be.
Yeah, we had an outpost set up, looking right into the town of Foy, and they had to watch everything going on, because we'd come in here and go to sleep. We had our foxholes right over here, and the other area, wherever we had to move out and dig in again. Of course, the Krauts had plenty of artillery.
Most intense I went through right here. Shelling. Most intense in the world. You couldn't believe it. You had to be here.
You just dove in the hole and just pray.
Like, I felt it. I felt it.
You ain't going
Watch
to know
it.
it.
You ain't going to know it.
We lost Muck and Penkella over on this side. They were killed instantly. Direct hit, 88.
Direct hit by the hole. Just made mincemeat out of them.
Georgie Lodge come over and he hollered, I can't see nothing of them. There's nothing there. They were all gone, just disintegrated.
Unmerciful shelling, really.
Can't see nothing of them. Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's an odd feeling.
To me, it brings a lot of memories. The memories of the men, the times, good and bad. A lot of memories.
I was where he lost his leg, right? Boston.
Miserable place I've ever been in my life. Even today. On a real cold night, we go to bed.
Yeah, seemed it.
My wife
It
will tell
looked
you
it.
the first thing I'll say is I'm glad I'm not in Bastogne.
Germans wanted to get Bastogne because of the road network. That's why it was such an objective. So that's where we had to hold, which we did.
We were short of equipment. We didn't have enough ammunition. We didn't have enough warm clothes. But we had confidence that our higher military authorities would get to us whatever we needed. That when we got up there, we didn't know what we were getting into. There was very little information. Only that the Germans had broken through.
We went down, loaded on the trucks, and another truck came by with weapons, and they pitch weapons up to the truck, and you catch a weapon, that's what you got until you got to Bastogne.
As it worked out, there's some men actually got on the trucks and left for Bastogne and didn't have a rifle.
Jesus. Fucking hell. Imagine going to that without a rifle, without ammo.
Some of them were terrified.
They were beat to a nub, and every one of them were telling us, they're going to kill everybody. They're running over everybody.
They couldn't believe when they saw us up there that we intended to set up defensive lines and to stop the Germans. They said they couldn't be stopped.
We went out of town, we started taking up their weapons and their ammunition.
Asking the guys that's retreating, you got any extra ammunition or hand grenades you don't want? And, oh, yeah, you could hear the firing going on up ahead, and we're marching towards it with hardly any ammunition.
We marched through the night and went up to the forward side of Bastogne and dug in, and then it snowed.
Mental.
Snow, cold up to your rump. We didn't have no winter clothing or nothing.
Oh, Rondoman, poor Rondoman.
Casually.
That's the first time I've seen him.
Frostbite or trench foot.
That's the first time of these I've saw him.
Bad move.
Wonder why?
A lot of snow. A lot of everything you didn't like.
At this particular time, we was on top of a kind of a hill. On top of the hill,
Yeah.
pine trees. And we set up our positions around the fringe of the woods.
In Belgium, the trees are planted. They don't grow like they do in Maine. They're rows of trees. A row and you can see a half a mile. And there was on top of this hill, there was a ridge with a tree line. We were dug in on that ridge. Germans knew right where we were, and they really gave us a shellacking.
Yeah, and the bombs the shit at you. Yeah.
To our infantrymen
In wartime, the Mother Earth is your best friend. You can always dig a hole and get out of sight, you know. We dug plenty of those.
You'd be surprised how quick you can get through that hard ground when somebody's shooting at you and them shells are falling. Now you can make fast work of it. We just have to dig that hole.
Well, we say we became experts on foreign European soil. We dug in, and 2 people could dig a better hole than one. In the ground is frozen, it takes quite a while. You just chip it out. And by the time you get it done, they whistle for you to, we're moving out. And you go someplace else and dig another one.
But we went through a couple of shellings at Bastogne that were earth-shaking. If you lived through them, you remember them for the rest of your life, and I'm not sure you're the same for the rest of your life after you live through them. You never forget them.
One moment there that I remember vividly, I'll never forget it. One of the guys got hit in the arm with a piece of shrapnel, took his arm off above the elbow. And they were taking him out. He said, "Get my wristwatch off my arm." And 40 took him out. That always stayed with me.
It was right at dusk, and the Germans had this, you know, this woods of ours zeroed in completely, and as we hit the woods, why this tremendous artillery attack came.
So the Germans were waiting for them to get her, basically.
Point blank 88s into our area.
They were letting us have it, everything. The kitchen sink, mortars, Urfel whoppers.
Sergeant Garnier lost a leg, and Joe Toy lost a leg in the same place right there on one hill. I remember just this certain instance, you know.
Joe got caught not near his hole, and Bill and I were ahead of him, and Bill had not been hit, and he came up out of his hole quickly, and we were still under heavy fire.
Joe said, "Jesus Christ, what do I have to do to die?" He got hit real bad in the back and the leg. And he's out there and have a medic, and he can't find a medic. I went out to see what I could do for him. Bongo, I got it too.
I went over to Garnier. He was sitting on the ground. His leg was badly mangled. He was holding his leg and it was jerking like that.
Off. Yeah.
He said, "Lip, they got old Garnier this time." He had been hit before, but they really got him there.
We got him out of there, I think Babe Heffron and I and some others, and they brought a Jeep down, and we put him on stretchers, and I better not talk about it. Yeah, better not talk about it. It's terrible.
Yeah. Because he'll cry.
We had lost some very good men there. Toy and Garnier had lost their legs there. A number of other people were killed. It was a difficult situation.
One man was wounded.
Pink Hill, was that?
We felt glad
was
for
that
them. We felt
earlier?
happy for them. He had a ticket to get out of there, and maybe a ticket to go home. And when we had a man who was killed,
yeah, not like that though.
we found that he was at peace, and he looked so peaceful. And we...
Is that what they thought though? Is that how you justify it yourself?
It is a great personal honor for me to be here today to take part in a ceremony that is unique in American history. Never before has a full division been cited by the War Department in the name of the President for gallantry in action.
The 4th Division.
This day marks the beginning of a new tradition in the American Army. With that tradition, therefore, will always be associated the name of the 101st Airborne Division and of Bastogne.
The whole division got it.
Good luck
of course.
and God be with each of you.
Yeah.
Berchtesgaden, that's the end of the line. It's the retreat that Hitler had for himself. Penthouse on top of the Alp to, I'm sure, relax and confer with his staff because they all followed him to Berchtesgaden. This was their final retreat. And of course, this is where they had their loot as well. This was the goal of the French who were on our right flank. This was the goal of the British, and this is the place to capture. This is the one everybody wanted.
Hitler's Berchtesgaden
Because of the
retreat,
spoils.
burned by
Because of the
SS
treasures.
in the war's last days. The chalet from which he hoped to rule the world now lies in ruin. American Air Force's pictures show the huge gutted rooms and the great window through which the Fuhrer gazed out on the Alps.
We took Berchtesgaden May the 5th. And no fighting, no shooting. The only thing I seen at Berchtesgaden was a couple dead black uniform SS troopers laying on the road as we were going up.
It was beautiful country. He knew how to pick out a good spot for a house. We took over his house and liberated it, you might say.
There was
Liberated it.
obviously a loot of all kinds that the men were looking for, such as guns. There was money.
Silver.
That they were looting.
I was a pack rat anyway. I picked up a lot of German items. Postcards and envelopes that were addressed to Hitler.
Come find out, that place was full of this big art, you know. Rembrandt and all those people, you know, and hanging on the wall, you know.
Wow.
Old soldiers like us, we don't recognize a painting when we see it.
The 101st Airborne Division uncovers Hermann Goering's personal art collection.
They just took the
hidden in
booze.
a subterranean chamber.
Right, they just took the alcohol.
1,200 artworks worth untold millions are included. The treasures will go back to rightful owners in pillaged nations.
They're enjoying themselves, they're at peace with the world, they have a big, happy, satisfied grin on their face. It was a paradise for a soldier to move into.
Yeah.
I had no problem with looting because of the fact that I had come down through Germany and I had seen the Holocaust. And I had seen what the Germans had done to the Jewish race.
Yeah,
I had seen
so
what they
like,
had done
fuck them, right?
the displaced persons. And
So
what
fuck
they
them.
had done
Take
in their
what you need.
occupation of France and what they had done to their occupation in Holland, Belgium. So that by taking over their homes for a few nights
Yeah.
to
Fuck them.
bed down my men. And if they picked up a few trinkets, I had no problem. Nobody has ever taken the time to tell you how to handle a surrender. Jeez. We'll talk about that when we get there. Well, here we are. We got it. Now, how do you handle
What do you do?
this?
What do you do? Like thousands and thousands of people surrendering. What the fuck do you do?
It was a well-disciplined army, and those prisoners that come down out of the Alps, they came down in formation. They marched down. They didn't drag down, you know, or nothing like that. They came down as defeated soldiers.
Soldiers, so.
Evilest people in the world. But as the war went along, we found out also that it wasn't the Germans per se. It was the SS and the special troops. They were the
command
one that could kill their own people, and the regular German soldier was not that way.
One of those prisoners handed me this little book I could have. I looked at it and it was a little Catholic prayer book for the Mass. And all of a sudden I'm faced with the thing, hey, I haven't got Nazis here, I got some Catholics.
Yeah.
And I've got a Catholic
There's some men.
to stick one of these in his pocket.
Human
Those
beings.
soldiers, I've thought about this often. That man and I might have been good friends. We might have had a lot in common. We might have liked to fish, you know. He might have liked to hunt. You never know, you know. Of course, they were doing what they were supposed to do, and I was trying to do what I was supposed to do. But under different circumstances, we might have been good friends.
Yeah, just soldiers, just people, just humans.
Respect for them as soldiers. They were very good soldiers.
Yeah.
But they're still enemy. So they must be controlled as prisoners. When it reached the level of surrender for company and smaller units, I was assigned this major. And when he walked in, he presented me this pistol and offered his personal surrender, which naturally I accepted gratefully. So that would be the end of the war for his men, and this is basically the end of the war for my men. And the significance is that it wasn't until later, when he had given me this pistol and I had a chance to look at it carefully, that I realized this pistol had never been fired. There was no blood on it.
Yeah.
That's the way all wars should end, with an agreement with no blood on it.
Yeah.
And I assure you, this pistol has never been fired since I've had it, and it will not be fired.
Well, November, another 6 months though, right? Another 6 months after the war.
We didn't come home and flout ourselves. I didn't come home and, I was a war hero or anything. I just come home and went back to like we did before we went. Just go to work and live our life.
Yeah.
I think it was difficult for most fellas coming back. They didn't know what they were going to do when they got out. I had no idea.
Went to work for a coal company.
Did some bartending and ran a pool hall.
Took up a course in ornamental horticulture. It didn't pay very much, but there were a lot of nice people.
I built a home. I went into construction. I went into hard work, tedious work. I'd done everything. You name it, I'd done it.
Yeah, fucking heroes.
I ended up working on the waterfront.
And I went with the CIA in Washington.
Got my degree in 1948.
After the war, I became a teacher and taught for almost 30 years. Got a job working for Nixon Nitration Works. I was making $75 a week.
We've never become wealthy.
That must be good money, right?
We have a lot of other wealth that means more than that, really.
Everyone done well. I done well too. Thank God.
Yeah, they deserve it, right? The men who survived, they deserve everything.
I want to welcome each and every one of you to our banquet tonight to celebrate the ending of a fine reunion. Thank you all for coming. And I want to extend the best wishes to all the men from Company E506. I love you. God bless you all. Thank you.
The purpose the reunions serve is just to give us a chance to get together and talk to each other. We relive some of the Army experiences, but we have great respect and you might say affection for each other.
Yeah, of course you do.
The type of affection that you get when you've lived through many dangerous situations together and have learned that you can rely on each other.
If you see the people today, that bond's still there. The bond you can't explain. As soon as you see them, you know you're thinking of battles and thinking of it to yourself. The men stand out amongst each other.
There's an intimacy develops, and like nothing that I've ever experienced anywhere, not in college, not in with any other group of people.
We're a strange bunch of dudes, as far as I'm concerned, to be this close after all these years. That's the thing that gets me.
It's not that strange, is it?
I like
it's
brothers.
Not.
I'm back in my youth now. When I get to these guys, I'm back when I went to service.
Yeah. Reliving your youth.
I'd like to make 20 more reunions.
We had a lot of real good times in there. And those are the times that you really remember, you know. That's, a lot of those is what we're kidding each other about, you know, at these reunions a lot of times. And then you had a lot of bad times.
Yeah.
My family didn't know anything about it. And just didn't tell them. I just, you know, figured it's something that didn't need talking about. It was done, over with.
Never talked about
We
it.
didn't know Shifty the way the men know Shifty. You know.
So, but he started talking about it just in the last 5 or 6 years. Last 5, I'd say. It was like that was another life, you know.
Yeah.
He was another person, and we weren't aware that the stuff he went through, things he'd seen.
Things he did.
It didn't even dawn on me that he'd killed people.
I really admire my daddy. He's a good guy. He's a real strong guy. We travel a lot, and we've been to France and to that cemetery. It's just incredible. There's crosses upon crosses upon crosses, and just lined up perfectly as far as the eye can see. And then there's a cliff, you know, and then the ocean.
Yeah.
These weren't just anonymous statistics. These were people that I knew, and I told my daughter, I said, this guy here died at age 19 or 20. A whole life. Never lived.
Yeah.
No family.
Yeah.
Nothing. No children. No opportunity to have some satisfaction of building a
No
life,
future.
Nothing.
When I went there, I said, Dad, my gosh, Dad, you were so lucky. And he looked at me and he said, yeah, I'm very lucky, and he started crying.
Yeah.
These guys have been with each other in the absolute base experiences of human existence. They were there with each other, knowing you're going to die, or thinking you're going to die, or seeing people dying all around you. And there they went, day after day, and I admire that. It held my father even on his tombstone as Sergeant Joe Toy.
Sergeant Joe Toy.
506 PIR, 101st Airborne Division. That's what he wanted on his tombstone. It meant that much.
Because he was
to
proud.
him.
Because he was proud of that part of his life.
How it happened that those various individuals happened to end up in E Company, I don't know. But as you know, every Army unit thinks it's the best.
Yeah.
But we knew we were the best.
With evidence to support it, right? With evidence.
Think about your God more than anything else. Think about most of them every day. Something is etched in your memory, I guess. He'll never leave either.
Am I a little proud of having once served in that outfit? You bet your life. I wore that eagle on my right shoulder for 18 years. Probably the proudest thing of my whole life, having been in Easy Company 506.
Yeah.
The heroes had crosses over their heads, the ones that are buried in the cemeteries. Those are the true heroes, not us. We're just part of the work, that's all. And we thank God we got back alive. That's all.
How would you like to be a mother or a father whose son never come back? The son and the mother and father are the heroes of the Second World War. Not the guys that come home.
Yeah, the guys that came
Let
home
me
as
say
well.
this. I don't believe there's very, very, very few heroes that came back from the war.
No, there is.
Do you remember the letter that Mike Raney wrote me? Do you remember how he ended it? I cherish the memories of a question my grandson asked me the other day when he said, "Grandpa, were you a hero in the war?" Grandpa said no. But I served in a company of heroes.
D-Day. Hoopla.
Joe Toy, oh, there was a big mix. And we used to have a few beers at night, and I'd sing, and Garnier would try to come over and sing. He'd say to Garnier, Garnier, you're Italian, you don't know this song. Garnier could sing it better than he did. Bridget O'Flynn. Oh, Bridget O'Flynn. Bridget O'Flynn, where have you been? Sure it's a fine time for you to come in. You went to see the big parade, me eye. Sure the big parade it never took so long in passing by. Look at your shoes, ain't it a sin, Bridget O'Flynn? Sure your story and your shoes are mighty thin. If you know anyone that owns a canoe, I'm telling you, Bridget, just what to do. Stay away from the water, Bridget, darling. Now that's the song Twilight. And that's what we sang.
It's what the song.
You only needed a sissel of beer. 2 beers you were drunk because you were in great physical condition. You were too peaked, you know, and 2 beers you were high as Georgia Pine, you know.
So, what can you say, right? What can you say that's not being said? Like I said, a company of heroes, right? And they try to downplay it by saying we're not the heroes, it's the men that came back. It's all were, mate. Anyone who is willing to not come back, anyone who is willing to give their lives for the cause is a hero, completely, whether they made it back or not, right? Yeah, it's I would say I don't even get anything to say. Like that was great. That was great. That was a great way of ending the Bonder Brothers story. I'd imagine they're all gone now, right? If this was 2001, I'd imagine they're all gone now. But yeah, the Greatest Generation, undoubtedly, heroes to man. We grieve for the lives lost in the lives altered, right? Like even the guys who came back, a lot of them stayed. So everyone again, thank you for watching us with me. Thank you for recommending it. It's been great, tremendous, and I hope I catch you in the next one. Next thing.